From the heart of Yerevan to all corners of the world, this is CivilNet's Daily News Digest for Tuesday, October 22nd. I'm Paul Chaderjian.
And I'm Maria Titizian. In today's digest,
the purchasing power of Armenians just got weaker. We'll explain new economic reports on salaries and inflation.
Plus, civic activists stage a protest during a conference on intolerance and xenophobia.
And the Phantom Cat makes an appearance on CivilNet. It's part of the SunChild Festival education outreach.
Later, how to pick an apple 101. Tim Straight takes us straight to Nor Keghi for apple picking season.
Maria, we began today with some news about Armenia's economy.
That's right. Between January and September of this year, average monthly salaries increased by 4%. Inflation for the same time period, however, was 8.2%. This means that for most of 2013, the purchasing power of Armenians decreased significantly. For the 2013 budget, Armenia's government had forecast economic growth at 6.2%. Following the presidential elections in March and the formation of a new government, President Serge Sarkisyan in May of this year told the government that he expected 7% economic growth for 2013, discounting the government's earlier projections of 6.2%. According to the National Statistical Service, economic activity for the first 3 quarters of this year was only 3.2%, while in 2012, economic growth for the same time period was 7.6%. These figures, Paul, are not very promising, unfortunately. A 2-day conference on combating racism, xenophobia, and intolerance in Europe opened in Yerevan on Monday.
Thorbjorn Jagland, Secretary General of the Council of Europe, representatives of the Council of Europe, OSCE, and the League of Arab States participated in the conference. The objective of the conference was to have the opportunity to reflect upon racism and xenophobia in political discourse, the role of human rights institutions in combating racial and ethnic discriminations, as well as topics related to combating hate speech and racial stereotypes on social networks and media. While the discourse was taking place, however, civic activists concerned with a spike of inappropriate actions and expressions of intolerance and xenophobia staged a protest outside the Marriott Hotel where the event was taking place. The protesters then crossed security lines and entered the conference hall holding banners accusing the ruling Republican Party of xenophobia and racism, and they also raised issues of women's and LGBT rights in Armenia. One of the banners mentioned Republican Party member, Deputy Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs Chaderjian, who had called for burning an opposition politician at the stake over her critical comments earlier this month. Armenia's Foreign Affairs Minister Edward Nalbandian is the current chairman of the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe, a position that concludes on November 14, 2013. This conference took place within the framework of the Armenian chairmanship. You can watch CivilNet's entire report by following the link on your screen.
On this week's episode of Hidden People, I interviewed photographer Anush Babajanyan. Inspired by the stories she saw in Armenia, particularly Gyumri, where thousands of people continue to live in containers following the 1988 earthquake, she forayed into the world of photography. Babajanyan told me why she decided to start with Gyumri.
It was important, first of all, because I got to know these people when I was living in Gyumri. I lived there for a year together with my husband, who's from Gyumri. And so I got to know them and the situation. It was the first thing that seemed important to me as a person who wanted to begin a photojournalism career at that time.
Anush reveals the diverse narratives of Armenia through her photographs, especially ones that deal with human rights and women migrant laborers. You can watch the full interview by going to civilnet.am.
On CivilNet today, we reported about the SunChild Festival, which is underway through next weekend. The festival is part of a larger campaign to teach kids about the environment and to increase public awareness on crucial environmental issues.
It's about healthy future, it's about sustainability, at the end it's about future of Armenia.
Yerevan Zoo Director Ruben Chaderjian created the Foundation for Preservation of Wildlife and Cultural Assets, and the SunChild Festival is one of many outreach programs instituted by the Foundation. The biennial SunChild this year is offering international documentaries that are screened on multiple television stations and right here on CivilNet. The films are also screened at schools and in libraries, and there are panel discussions about the issues being addressed in the films.
I think many of these films, and this I think people will enjoy, are really pure and beautiful wildlife films. They don't show so much this problematic thing that wildlife is getting extinct, etc. Though, of course, this aspect is there, but it shows in a broad range the beauty of nature.
As we mentioned, CivilNet is also presenting one of the 30 films during this year's SunChild Festival. You can watch the film The Phantom Cat, plus our special reports, by going to the civilnet.am site.
And here is a quick look at today's exchange rates.
The Central Bank of Armenia says the dollar is worth 406 dirhams and 10 luma. 656 dirhams and 80 luma is what you'll get for the British pound.
That's right. And the euro buys you 555 dirhams and the ruble buys you 12 dirhams and 73 luma. And Paul, here is a look at the chilly weather forecast.
It's definitely cold here. Yerevan will have a high of 20 Celsius, 68 Fahrenheit, and a low overnight of 4 Celsius and 39 degrees Fahrenheit.
And for Gyumri, it's a high of 12 degrees Celsius or 53 Fahrenheit with a low of 0 Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit, which is freezing.
And the high in Stepanakert will be 15 Celsius today or 59 Fahrenheit. And the high in the historic Armenian city of Kars, Hayastani Hars, will be 15 Celsius and a low of 4.
So, on CivilNet this weekend, we took you to the village of Nor Keghi.
The village is in the Kodaik Mars and apple picking season is already underway. In our series Straight to the Village, Tim introduced us to the village, which some consider a bedroom community to Yerevan. Tim reported that there are some 4,000 apple orchards, and he met one farmer named Mania who showed him how to properly pick an apple.
Lucky man.
Okay. So you don't twist it very much actually. And what happens if you don't pick it correctly?
And you can watch this week's Straight to the Village by clicking on the YouTube link on your screen.
Also this weekend, the Armenian Street Workout Organization hosted its athletic competition.
Check out this video. More than 100 athletes, both girls and boys from all over Armenia, showed off their agility and strength to compete in the Armenian Street Workout Contest. It's part gymnastics, part parkour, and pure fun for participants and especially spectators like ourselves. Of all the athletes taking part, 17-year-old Sergei Taveyosyan from the city of Ardashad walked away with first place. If you want to find out more about when these athletes meet and how you can participate in their training sessions, check out their Facebook page. It's called Armenian Street Workouts.
And Maria is so inspired by the athletes that we're going to meet them this Saturday.
That's
so
right.
We can try to do some at least try to do something.
Look, we're not going to try, we're just going to be the spectators for sure, but you should check it out. It'll be coming up in a couple of days for all the young men and women out there who are sports fanatics. They're going to love it. Also over the weekend, dozens of talented and extremely agile young people competed in the Emergency Battle Street Dance Competition.
Here's a look at some of the hip-hop dancers competing in the 13 to 16 age category. The dancers competed in categories like hip-hop, popping, and b-boying. I have no idea what b-boying is, but I think Maria does. The winner of the category we just watched was Vakhtang Shirinyan, whose group was called Live.
And that is our digest for this Tuesday. Paul and I are going to be dancing out of here, it seems.
We want to hear from you. Our email address is english@civilnet.am.
See you tomorrow.